everybody, Great Gecko here and welcome to another video. And today I have an actually great idea that took me a while to come up with. So guys, my idea was, you know Zora Magdaros? That guy. Well, that's the start of my idea. So, what happens is the handler finds yet another island and you venture over there. Once you make it there, you see that it's kind of like the Guiding Lands. You have all the different biomes. It also has some new biomes that we've never seen before with its own unique monsters and subspecies and variants and stuff like that. And in the center of it, you see this huge volcano, black with hundreds of orange lava vents on it. And all the monsters seem to be very angry for some reason. Nobody quite knows why. And all the time there are these massive earthquakes happening on the island causing massive destruction. And as you go throughout the maps, you encounter new monsters. Like, for example, when you enter the ancient forest thing, your first fight is you run into a bunch of Murnos, but they are very aggressive Murnos. So do not be fine with them, because they actually are as aggressive as things like the Banos. And then, eventually, you run into
the Great Monos,
which is actually a large monster fight, and it's your first large monster on that island. Pretty cool. You fight the Great Murnos, and then you find a ton of other new things. Eventually, you fight a Duramboros, which would be very fun. And then at the end of it, you find this huge black spire with orange vents on it, and one of the rustback Duramboroses or whatever it is. Then you find one of those near it. And then after you defeat that, you move on to the desert area. And then after the desert area, I think I'll replace the Coral Highlands with like a geyser-style area with completely new things. Yeah, in the desert you have the Noistrom, which uses mainly sonic attacks, kind of like Brute Tigrexes and Yangarugas. And then when you move on to the geyser area, it'll have its own new things. Then after that, you don't move on to a Rotten Vale type area. I don't know what the next area would be. You guys come up with it, because again, it's going to have some of its own unique biomes. And then of course eventually you make it to the snowy area where you fight the Great Kortos, which will also be very fun. And you fight a bunch of other snowy things. In the desert area you also encounter a Monoblos, which you're very confused by. And then once you get, all the biomes have their own black spires. So once you get to the desert's black spire, you fight a white Monoblos. And then, and as you continue through that, when you make it to the geyser area, it has its own spire where you fight another old monster or a new monster. And then the next area, you do the same thing. But then in the snowy area, I think it might be like a Jade Baroth or something at the end of it. Or just some old snowy monster that's pretty powerful. And then in the volcano area, once you make it to the center of it, you find a huge black spire in the center. And then, protecting it this time, is a
Raging Brachydios.
And then you have to take down the Raging Brachydios. But when he dies and falls over, all three of his pounders hit right on the black spire, and it explodes, and all the rock crumbles away, revealing a giant magma core. And then the handler realizes what you've been on this whole time. And then she realizes that's why the earthquakes were happening, because the huge Zora was starting to wake up. So you'd have to destroy all the magma cores before it wakes up and sets a course for the new world. So you start off by destroying that volcano after you beat the Raging. Only problem is these magma cores are like proper Elder Dragon levels of boss fights. So they're really difficult to fight. They're about as hard as your average Elder Dragon again. So that will be very difficult fighting a magma core like that. Also because there will be hundreds of monsters guarding it as well while you're trying to fight it. So while you're fighting it, eventually some monsters will come in and try to protect their island. And eventually you take out all the magma cores by destroying the rock and then going for the actual magma core itself, because all the black spires are magma cores. And after you start taking a few of them out, after you take out like 2 of them, that's when Zora actually wakes up and starts walking in his 4-legged position towards the new world. And then, eventually, once you take out most of them, he's already almost there at the new world, and he rears up onto his hind-legged position. And you see that rock way off in the distance behind that ship. Once he gets up there, one of the first things that he does is he crumbles that rock just by putting his hand on it. But that's later on. But when you get up to his head, you see that its magma core is like 5 times bigger than any of the other magma cores. And that thing is like trying to fight a freaking black dragon. It's gonna be very, very difficult. And you gotta take out that last magma core before he can destroy the new world and Astera. But yeah, the entire time you're fighting him, he's walking towards Astera, and you see it over in the distance. And other people that are actually in Astera are there getting all the siege equipment ready and arming the Dragonator on the Dragonator ship, preparing to fight this huge island-sized Zora. Oh, by the way, that Zora's head as well is the size of normal Zora Magdaros. That's how big it is. So you're just fighting him, trying to get through his Zora Magdaros-sized head to get to that final huge magma core and destroy it before he destroys the entire new world in one blast. And at the end of the fight, when the magma core is low on health, that's when the magma core is at like the limp sign, which is still like 20,000 health left. You know, the average health of a large monster, of an Elder Dragon, is when it's at its limp sign. So you gotta fight it with all that health while Zora Magdaros begins charging up the huge blast that he uses to destroy the barrier. Except for this time, he's the size of an entire island, so it'll destroy the entire new world. So he charges up that attack, and you have like 15, and when you're attacking that magma core, there's only 15 minutes left before he does his huge blast, destroys the entire new world, and you have to break the final magma core to shut it down. And then after you break that final magma core, then you actually have to kill Zora the rest of the way, simply by continuously attacking him until he actually dies, because breaking all the magma cores, all it does is drain him down to half his health. He still has about, now let me think here. Aha. 500,000 health left that you gotta beat on him as he's actually trying to retreat now that he can't attack. He's trying to slowly retreat away as you gotta drain 500,000 more health with constant attacks. This quest can be attended by 16 players all at the same time, considering that everybody in the hub has to do this quest. Or else, because this takes place in Astera, so everybody in the entire hub has to do this quest. And all of the magma cores are the same quest. So you have to defeat Zora in this one quest that I think they should probably make like 2 hours long. So yeah, you have to defeat Zora, and then there's only 15 minutes to destroy the final magma core. But then after that, he has 500,000 more health left to drain, and you gotta keep beating on him until he eventually just dies. So yeah, it'll be really hard to eventually defeat that Zora with 500,000 health left. But when you do actually defeat him, and Astera is saved. He's gone. He's just back to being an island that you can use. So I think that should be what the Guiding Lands equivalent is in Monster Hunter World 2. instead of having this guiding land, it'll be that huge Zora for Monster Hunter World 2. Whenever that comes out. But yeah, do you guys think that'd be a good idea? Because I definitely love that idea of a huge island-sized Zora that you don't even know is a Zora until the end of it, when you realize that he's so big he can destroy the entire new world. I really love that idea. It gives you the same sense of, holy crud, we have to kill this thing or else it'll destroy the island, like you did with normal Zora, but the holy crud, this is hard that you got with AT Zora multiplied by 10,000, because, well, it's 500,000 health after you kill all the magma cores, and all the magma cores are as strong as elder dragons, and the final one's as strong as a black dragon. So yeah, I hope that is added. If you guys think that's a really good challenging idea, definitely tell Capcom about this video, because I think that would be a cool way to unlock a new version of the Guiding Lands in the next game. Yeah, I definitely like that idea. My favorite part is, of course, that final phase where it's really desperate. He's so close to destroying the new world. It's charging up his blast. Everybody's fighting him, all aiming at that last magma core. Because that's all any of the siege equipment is aimed at. All of the siege equipment is all aimed at that one magma core. So you're not the only one. So the person on Zora's back, the people on Zora's back are fighting magma core normally, while the people on the Astera are shooting at it with everything that they've got, trying to stop that blast. And of course, the magma core attacks everyone. So even if you're down here, you're still getting attacked by that magma core. So it's really desperate. And then at the end, it's actually like Kultros' first phase. You're just beating on him as he's trying his hardest to escape. Like following him with an entire fleet of ships all shooting at him. And people on his back, like going for his head. And I think I have a good idea on how he actually gets finished. So how you actually kill him is, in the end, you actually have to get inside of his... Actually, no, that sounds kind of dumb. So you just gotta keep attacking him, and eventually all the cannons will have broken his chest, revealing the fleshy innards, because you break it more times than you do normal Zora, because that's your goal, is to break his chest until you can reach his heart, and then attack that. So once you reach his heart, then they send in the wing drakes to bring you to his heart, so that you can then attack his heart, which has about, I don't know, 70,000 health maybe, and then that's your goal. So you get down, so it's not, you don't have to beat him on him for that 500,000 health. You just gotta attack his chest until it cracks open and you can attack his heart. Once his heart is destroyed, then he is destroyed. You just destroy his heart. That is how difficult it is. If you were to attack him normally, it would take forever. So all the ships just aim at his chest and fire at it until his heart is revealed. And then you go in there and fight his heart. And the thing is that instead of the heart really actually fighting you, it's just that every time that you hit it, sometimes when you hit it, it'll spray out boiling blood that can do a lot of damage. So you actually got to be careful when fighting his heart. And then once his heart is finally destroyed after you break his chest 5 times to get into there, then Zora dies and you flop away as he flops back down and just becomes permanently an island. And when you kill him, you actually chase him all the way back to where he started. But yeah, once he's dead, then everybody celebrates, and that's it. That definitely sounds like the final boss of a Monster Hunter game. So that'll probably be like the final boss of Monster Hunter World 2. So please, everybody, if you like that idea, please just send it over to Capcom, and hopefully they agree with the idea. But yeah, I think it's awesome. Hopefully you think it's awesome, and and you don't think it's too difficult. I just love the concept of normal Zora. I just got a Zora plushie, which is why I thought about Zora. So anyway, guys, hopefully you all have enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Bye! Awesome audio outro! Hope you like that. Yeah. My plan works. Not as I expected, but he's been so busy with everything else that I just now destroyed all of reality in Minecraft. Well, not destroyed. Altered it to make it so he will never play it again. All that took was a bit of convincing from Mojang to turn Minecraft PS4 edition into Pocket Edition. But yes, I've ruined Greg Geggle's entire Minecraft career. So, hopefully you enjoyed me ruining that, people of the dark side. Don't leave a like to this video, or I'll kill you all. Bye.